It's the mom life.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Living in the Moment with B.
And Steph. And to continue our theme of holiday
Extravag
stuff,
extravaganza. Yeah.
our holiday extravaganza, today we are talking just mom guilt and anxiety around the holidays and stuff that could come with that.
Yeah, so I actually was shopping today at the mall. I'm going back home, which is South Central Texas location. But I have to go for a friend family gathering that we're having. And I went shopping today because I haven't gotten a dress. And oh my God, it was complete madness.
Was
It's
it?
freaking Tuesday, 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
It's just opening, and people, it's like ants. They're everywhere.
that's crazy. You know what though? Were they playing Christmas music in the mall?
They are. I mean, I feel like
Okay,
that started in Halloween.
so sometimes that like is a vibe for me. I remember last year we had to go to the mall and I feel like that's not something we do as much anymore, but we had to go around Christmas time to get a few gifts and there I am just with my bags and my purse, and this must not have been out last year because I had Maddie. It was the year before. And just right before Christmas and they're playing music and everyone's shopping and there's the decorations in the mall and I'm like, oh, this is like being in a movie.
Well, and sure enough, I didn't skate by without any mom guilt because I was like, I'm not going to shop for JJ, which I stuck to that. But there was no line with Santa Claus. And I'm
Mm,
like, oh, if I would have just dressed him up, we could have
you could have
taken
taken the
pictures.
pictures.
And
Yeah.
I mean, we take our own family. My husband, he has his own camera. He used to be a photographer. And then, me, I like to do all my background and all my incredible, I say incredible, but this is
It is.
this is me being a mommy. Like, this is, hopefully JJ looks back one day and he loves everything I did for him. But yep, I went to the mall to circle back to find a dress, and instead left with mom guilt. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, now I
for
have,
not doing the Santa picture.
yeah, now I have to go back and take it, or at least I don't have to, but that's how I feel. And I feel like that seems to be a trend along, among a lot of mothers, with the stress and trying to get everything off the checklist, like Elf on the Shelf and Christmas
Yeah.
cards and Santa pictures and matching pajamas that are, holy cow, they're so expensive now to do like family matching pajamas.
Yeah. It's a stressful time of year for sure. One year we did matching pajamas and we just got, I think, like $15 pants from wherever Walmart. They might have even been less, and like the most plain little t-shirts, and that was cute. So I feel like sometimes and mine is more anxiety around this time than guilt, and it, just like you said, because of everything that you have to do. And so I feel like if you just have the mindset to be, and I guess this is going to vary for everybody, but to do things as simply as possible, for me anyway, that helps. I do though, just to touch on the Santa thing, I want to get Maddie's picture with Santa this year because last year we didn't and I was sad.
Oh, and my
Yeah.
husband's not a big fan of those. He's like, no, there's just weirdos under there. So we're
Oh, they're
I
cute.
know, I'm like, and but I also think, like, as you said, I think we're just, it's self-sabotage. Like, we know what we're capable of, we know, and then what we can handle, and yet we set the bar so high because we just want to make the holidays magical for the kids the way our parents did. And for some people who didn't have magical Christmas or holidays, they want to do it for their kids. And so the guilt and the anxiety, I think, are super real. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you do to like help, I don't know, resolve that? Is that the word, to just help yourself like not feel as guilty?
I feel like for me, because last year I tried to do it all, it was too much.
Yeah.
And then JJ's birthday is always going to be on or around Thanksgiving. This year it's on Thanksgiving. So I decided I'm only going to make a big deal out of one major holiday, like either Thanksgiving or Christmas. And this year it's going to be Thanksgiving, and Christmas we're just going to lay in our matching pajamas at home, just eating and, just relaxing. So,
That's good.
yeah, I can do both. I think one has to be
That's
picked.
what you have to do. Just set your own boundaries, right? And I feel like that's just something I've had to learn, is like being an adult too, is yeah, you can't do everything. And Yeah, just know your limits.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
you can't sacrifice your peace. And it's also not even just on the holiday, like it's all the societal pressure leading up to the holiday, right? So like Thanksgiving and Halloween, we have the pumpkin patches and carving and painting pumpkins, and then you have, you know, Christmas, like I said, and then you also want to teach them like traditional memories that you have. Like for me anyways, I grew up, we were we weren't rich and we were barely middle class. You know, we had four single moms raising like 20 of us in one home. Madness. But so they couldn't buy all of us gifts all the time. But I remember like a fond memory is that we would sit around the table, whoever fit on the table. Some of us would be scattered around, but we would do tamales. And
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
I just want to pass that down to my son. And, you know, like those are just fond memories. Like you just want to do traditional fond memories. And I feel pressured even there. I'm like, okay, am I going to teach him this or what else? Like, what else is important? Again, we're the magic makers now. So there is a lot of pressure. I get it, elves. I get it, Santa. I'm feeling it too.
Yeah. You know which one seems stressful is that Elf on a Shelf. If there are any kids listening, earmuffs, kids. This is your warning, parents. That Elf on the Shelf one seems really stressful. Like every single night, making something really cute, and some of them are really elaborate. And I guess that's the same thing. Like it's the pressure you put on yourself. They don't have to be this elaborate move every single day. But that one already feels daunting. Like in 3 years when I decide to do it, or whenever.
Are you going to do it? Like, are you thinking of doing it? Are you learning?
Probably, yeah, because I think it's so cute and it's so fun. Just like, I love Senna, and I know there's a little bit of controversy with that. Uh, Especially now, I feel like as we've gotten older, one of the things that I've seen is like, oh, well, some kids might not have as nice of gifts from Santa. So they go to school and they're like, oh, what did Santa bring you? And it's this fancy thing. And oh, how come Santa just brought me this small thing? Um, I don't remember that ever being an issue as a kid. Do you? I don't even remember people ever talking about it. I feel like after you got back from Christmas break, you were just wearing, maybe your new jacket, but nobody was there like asking about it when you're that little.
I feel like we were at the point of like the highest craze of American consumerism started. Did you ever see Jingle All the Way with
I haven't
Arnold
seen that.
Schwarzenegger?
No.
Well, anyway, so they're looking for this doll, and I remember being a kid and watching this movie, and I'm like, oh my god, this is when the madness started because I don't remember caring too much about toys,
Mm-hmm.
or even comparing at school because I mean, we all lived in the same neighborhood. We weren't the rich neighborhood, so I feel
Yeah.
like you're kind of economically balanced with the schools you're going to. Most kids are anyways. So I
I
haven't
guess
seen it.
that's true too, though. It wasn't as materialistic, maybe, or the items just weren't as crazy as they are now. Like it wasn't as expensive. Like you were getting nice stuff, but it was reasonable stuff,
Well, you're
that maybe was more accessible.
yeah, you're buying love now. I feel like when we were kids, we liked the music, we liked the holiday movies, we liked to be in our pajamas, matching or not matching, but like being comfortable clothes. We liked even going to school and having all the Christmas and holiday activities to do at school. Like I love that when they would bring out like the coloring pages. That was my jam.
Yeah.
Um, but now it's like you're just buying love. Like what video game do you want and what this and what that, and it's I think that's the balance, like as new moms, especially because we are older moms, so we're more conscious of it, but we have to find a very good balance between buying our kid but also teaching them what the real magic is, right? Because like I said, our parents were their magic, but it's love.
It's just a shift in the culture too, and like you said, just the trends, and I'm sure maybe our parents said the same thing, like their Christmases versus ours, there was probably a difference there, and then now with our kids there's like another shift. But I don't know, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out as time goes on. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Santa. I love the idea of Elf on a Shelf. That came way after
So
I was a kid. But
the good thing about Elf on the Shelf though, because my cousin and a few of my like my sister-in-law does it too, and my cousin does it for her girls every year. But by the time we start doing it, and I don't think I will, to be honest, but by the time we start doing it, we have so many ideas like on TikTok and
Yeah.
Instagram. Like we're just really gonna
We
sort.
have a major resources.
Yeah, we don't have to be as clever. I mean, I'm sure we will be, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna do it right now. I'm saying no, but that can change with mama guilt. What about Santa? I feel like my husband and I asked you last time, and my husband and I have had this conversation. But are you a Santa girl? Like, are you gonna say Maddie
Yes.
Santa is real?
Yeah, I love Santa. That was so magical for me. And I know that some people will say, oh, well, when they find out, it's like, oh, you were lying to them. Like, I never felt that way about my parents. Like, when I found out the truth, like, it was just always really special and really magical. So, yeah, for sure. I love Santa.
I agree too. I feel like if kids are disappointed, it's like you don't think of Santa all year. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
kids don't obsess about this character, this figure.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it's fine. When I found out, I was probably like 6 and I woke up just in the middle of the night. I heard noise. Went to go find out what it was, and it was my mom wrapping gifts for us.
Hmm.
And so I didn't tell her anything, but I'll always remember that. Like I remember moving forward from then, it wasn't Santa, it was my mom, and it didn't take the magic away.
Yeah. I feel like I was like way older, maybe 10, 11, but I remember 12 even. I don't know. I was older. I feel like I was like end of elementary school. But I found the wrapping paper. My mom would always use different wrapping paper. And I'm like, how did she get Santa's wrapping paper?
Oh,
So then I knew, but yeah, no, it didn't mess anything up at all. I'm happy that I had that. So I'm excited. I did Santa already last year for Maddie. Like she was eight
oh.
weeks old, and there I am putting the gift at the fireplace. So yeah, that's to come every year
I feel so,
as long as I can.
I feel so bad because my sister-in-law, this is maybe like a couple years back, and I went over for Easter, and I made the kids we have two nephews, and I made them an Easter basket. And then I'm like, oh, how was it? Like, what'd you do for the boys? And her and I were talking, and the boys overheard.
Oh,
And as soon as I turned away, because I had to get something from my purse, and I turned back, the oldest one asked her, like, I thought the Easter bunny made my basket. And
yeah,
it was so soul crushing because her and I just started talking and going off, and she played it off. But I'm like, like now as a parent, I think of like, don't say things out loud that are going to ruin anything. And
yeah.
so yeah, she's like, no, no, the Easter basket, the Easter bunny did make your basket. And I just felt bad because I was like, oh, you got these at Target? I got them too.
I feel like I remember my mom being like, "Oh, Santa shops at Target," like, or, whatever. Like Santa outsources. Like, there's all kinds of stuff you can say. So, yeah, I mean, I could see definitely people slipping really
So
easily, especially if you don't have kids.
yeah, yeah, like at the time I wasn't, and
Hmm.
I was in like the mommy era, but I didn't have my baby. I was
Yeah,
trying to have a baby, but it just slips. And now like I'm better trained.
yeah,
so,
for sure.
so since you are doing Santa, are you also, or like the Santa gift, are you also doing cookies and milk and that? Did you do that? Like the whole
Did I
nine
do
yards?
that last year? No, I don't think we did the whole 9 yards, but this year I will. She's only 14 months, but I will do it because it's fun and why not?
I think that's a tradition I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the cookies and the milk, and now I guess you leave a carrot for Rudolph. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that, but that's cute.
Yeah,
That came later, the
right.
leaving the reindeer stuff, like the reindeer
The
food,
more
but it's
animal
adorable.
conscious
Yeah.
age group where our
Yeah.
parents were like still had dogs leashed in the backyard. They didn't leave Rudolph a carrot, and now
Yeah,
you're like leaving pretzels. Anyways, but yeah, that I am gonna do because I'm gonna enjoy those cookies for me. So
exactly.
we'll
Yeah.
see. I think you just balance your mama guilt with the magic you can come
Do
up
you
with.
feel stressed out about this season coming up? We're in the swing of it starting this week, really.
I know my baby's birthday, like I'm literally doing candy bags. And
That's stressful. Yeah. And you're making really nice candy bags. So,
well,
if you guys follow us on Instagram, he has like these elaborate things going. So that is, and then combined with the holiday, that is a lot.
yeah, well, and then the holidays they're back to back. So it's
Yeah.
just horrible for everyone, right? You just a month is not enough. And I was a kid, I'm like, oh my God, it's Thanksgiving, a million years till it's Christmas. Now as an adult,
Yeah,
I can't catch a break. I'm like, oh
it
my,
flies by.
I'm off for 2 weeks. I'm off this week and I am running like a mad woman. I'm also traveling out of town, but it is run, run, Rudolph. We are in the season, people. So I'm going to send a lot of love to you mamas out there, and especially the single moms. Going back to the guilt.
That's yeah, that's true. It's got to be hard doing everything just one person. And even me and my husband have a ton of help, like from our parents and siblings and aunts and uncles. So I need to be more conscious of that
I
because that's got to be rough.
Yeah, we grew up with a single mom, and my mom worked a lot. Like I remember kind of my brother and I raising ourselves. Very
Hmm.
grateful for her because she always provided a roof over us. She didn't have any help. She did it alone. We live with, like I said, four moms and with 20 kids, but that was only till like second grade, and then we were on our own because everyone
Yeah.
did their own thing. But I was seeing some mom guilt with like not even just trying to do everything right, just taking the pictures and the Santa and the cookies and the sugar cookies and all that, making all that, but also just leaving your kids alone.
Hmm.
Like they're on break and they're just alone at home while you're working. So a lot of love to all the single moms out there doing it alone.
I can see how it would get harder too as kids get older and maybe as you have more kids, that guilt can definitely creep in. I don't feel like I'm feeling any really, now, but I can see how it would get bad. But like I said, my thing's more anxiety, and what helps me is just being as like prepared as possible. Like we had talked about, we're traveling for Thanksgiving. These episodes are we're having to backlog stuff, guys, because yeah, we're traveling and we're busy, and we still want to get an episode out every week. But even just like Maddie's food, she doesn't eat everything, so I had to like place a Walmart order to where we're going so that stuff is there for her and ready, and all of that like helps me and alleviates a lot of anxiety. But no, it's a lot being mom. Being mom is a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot of details. And this is when you
Yeah,
truly understand, like when you're really trying, like with my husband, right? Like a lot of people are saying, like split everything evenly, but our brains they function differently. They're built
totally
differently.
different. Yeah.
And so everything I want to do, even for the holidays, is so different from what my husband thinks is important, or even
Mm-hmm.
trying to get everything done. And so, power to the mamas, power to the women. This one is for you.
Yeah, so true. But anyway, guys, just reason for the season. Don't let the guilt or stress get to you. Easier said than done, but
We're almost
try
there.
your best. Yeah. We're chugging along. And anywho, thank you guys for tuning in. If you have anything that you do to alleviate any of your guilt or stresses or holiday anxieties, whatever the case is, to just help yourself get through this season as easily and seamlessly as possible, we would love to hear about it. So please leave the comments down below. And thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all of you listening.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Living in the moment, it's the mom life.